There is a chapter that is on the horizon where you withdraw yourself from every distraction, all artificial significance and noise, and you find yourself. At this juncture, nothing else matters. I gotta disappear. I got work to do.
You've been too focused on the people that don't like you, the people that don't support you. You've been too focused on who was not there for you and who did not believe in you. You've been too focused on that.
Learn to be laughed at, hated on and trolled, because if you can become comfortable with the hate, you'll be fucking unstoppable.
And I think if you can shift from this is hard to no one else will be able to do this, then it flips from being this thing that you're like, oh, poor me, to oh, poor everyone else who's gonna have to fucking try.
And when you get to that perspective, you don't slow down when Tuesday, March, or a year is and that's why most people lose, because they stop either an hour into it not going well, a day, a week, a month. Got it?
But we got to believe in ourselves, and we have to escape the negativity. We have to escape the doubt. We have to escape the evil. But if you're not willing to separate yourself from all of these things that are surrounding you, these people, their negative energy, their doubts, you're never gonna see it.
Nobody wants to disappear for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and eliminate all distractions and get into a place where you can focus on just you.
How long are you gonna complain about who didn't do it and who didn't take care of you and who didn't call you and who don't like you and what they said and what they think? Who cares what they think? Who cares what they said? This is not about them. This is about me.
And I think that flipped the switch in me where I was like, okay, fuck you, watch this.
If you hold on, everything you dreamed of, everything you envisioned, everything you worked for, it's coming. But you can't quit or give up before you get it.
And that might mean that your friends won't enjoy you because you're too busy doing what you gotta do to get where you're trying to go.
What if you could just shut out the world for just a season and focus on you?
The time has come for you to disappear and get to work.
Come on, kid. This is your dream. You said you wanted to be great. You said you would never be broken. You said you would give everything you had. You made a promise to your teacher. You made a promise to your mama. You made a promise to your daddy. But you never made that promise to yourself. This is your life. It's time for you to get busy living. Because for far too long, you've been getting busy dying. So what's it going to be today? Will you sleep? Or will you leap? Will you take that leap of faith? Will you jump? Will you put yourself in a position to land softly on your bed of dreams? I know, the fear got you shook. It can never happen for you. Yes, it can. I need you to believe in you because we believe in you. Your mama believes in you. Your daddy believes in you. Your peers believe in you. I know. But you had one encounter with a doubter, one encounter with a naysayer, one encounter with a hater, and you let it break you. I need you to believe in yourself. I refuse to let another person make their impossible mine. And I need you to do the same thing. Refuse to let another person make their impossible yours. I need you to chase your dream. And if you run fast enough, you just might catch it. So now it's time for you to pick yourself up and start trying Because the strength within you is much stronger than the forces trying to break you. Everything you need to go to the next level, you already have inside. The will, the strength, the passion, the heart, the desire. And you never have to accept the mental shackles, the mental chains. I'm telling you from experience, you always have the choice to power through and make that necessary change. Never let the darkness block the rays of sunshine that are reserved for you. Because winners find a way, losers find an excuse. Oh yeah, you will get hit. You will get cut. But true champions get up off their butt and keep grinding. And they refuse to lose. And they never, ever, ever give up. This is your life. Come on, kid. This is your dream. And I need you to be Team You. Yes, you can. I need you to find a mirror. And I need you to look at yourself. And I need you to say to yourself, I know I can do this. This is my time to shine. I am more than a conqueror. I am an overcomer. And I refuse to let this life break me. Success is mine for the taking. See, it's okay to mess up. Just don't give up. Never let someone who allowed their dreams to die kill yours. They gon' talk. But I need you to block out their noise and go do some more to put yourself in a position for the magic to happen. Put yourself in a position for greatness to knock at your doorstep. Put yourself in a position for you to rise to the mountaintop. Put yourself in a position for you to arrive at your destination of next level. Because from this day forward, your new and improved mindset says, I will make the impossible possible. I will make the unbelievable believable. See, when struggle is present, growth has to be right around the corner. You gotta grow through each and everything that you go through. And anybody that's ever achieved at a high level will tell you that's the mindset they had when they broke through. Don't quit now. You're just getting started. Keep pushing, power through, and eventually you will break through. Don't pray for every day to be sunshine. Pray for the mental toughness to push through when your days are the darkest. Come on, kid. You can do this. If I overcame everything I went through, I promise you, you can too. I got it out the mud, all the slime, all the crud, all the grimy. I'm from the hood, and where I'm from, on my block, they tell you that you can't achieve. That went in one ear and right out the other. And I said to myself, I refuse to let another person make their impossible mine. Just because they can't see your dream doesn't mean it's not possible. This is your dream. This is your passion. This is your mission. This is your purpose. I need you to turn your passion into action. Crush excuses by dominating with massive execution. Come on, kid. This is your dream. Fear can't live in a space that confidence occupies. I need you to believe in you. Setbacks in life will make you want to scream, but they are part of the journey to success. So keep going. Never give up, because this is your life and your dream.
the dream will destroy you. Let it. All men are created equal. Some work hard in preseason. When I went to college, guys were way smarter than me. 4.0s, 3.0s, they went to the Ivy League high schools, came to Oakwood from these great high schools. Most of them are not doing what I'm doing. Why? Because it's not about where you come from. It's about heart.
You gotta let your dream destroy you. You gotta give everything you got. No excuses.
This is your opportunity to blow up.
If you really want your dream bad enough, if you really want to go where you say you want to go, if you really want to do what you say you want to do, you have to let your dream destroy you. You have to let your dream break you down. Because that's the only way that you're going to be built back up.
The version of you that you are right now is a blessing, but it won't take you to the next level. What got you here won't take you there. So let the dream destroy you, tear you down, redefine you, build you back up, make you stronger. The first version of Eric Thomas would never be able to stand in front of you guys. The first version of Eric Thomas, the high school dropout, that guy would have never been able to stand here and help you. I had to destroy that Eric Thomas.
See, your problem is you talk a good game, but at the first sign of adversity, at the first sign of a setback, at the first sign of a hiccup, at the first sign of something not going the way you thought it should go, you quit.
Let the dream destroy you. Let it strip you. Let it remake and mold you. Don't be afraid.
Pain is what's gonna lead to that future gain. You gotta let your dream destroy you. You gotta give everything you got.
To be able at any moment to sacrifice what we are for what we could be. I don't do well in math. You're right. You ain't never studied. I'm not good in writing because you have never written before. But I dare you to fail in writing for a whole year to see if you can get to the end. I dare you to fail. I dare you to take that same class over and over again. I dare you to stop dropping classes like you saw. With a real Eric Thomas, please stand up. Stop being this high school dropout. Stop giving up. Stop sleeping on the streets and get your GED. Stop being afraid to take a test. Stop being afraid to go to college because your daddy didn't go and your mama didn't go. Stop being afraid and be the best Eric Thomas you can be. But listen to me, it's going to be hard. It took me 12 years to get a 4-year degree, but I got it. And guess what? On a degree, it don't have dates. So if it took you 4 and it took me 12, it don't show up nowhere. I need you to study like you've never studied before. I need you up all night long studying, getting about 3-4 hours here, hour and a half here, 2 hours here. You hear me say this all the time. For some of you, this is it. And even you say, Eric, look, man, you don't understand. If I put everything in, I'm still gonna get a 1.0. I'm telling you to do it anyway because, you know, I told you I flunked English 3 times like when I was in college, right? Flunked it the first time, and I quit when they told me I couldn't pass. The second time she told me, you're gonna flunk, I stayed in there anyway. And guess what? As stupid as this might sound, even though you flunk, you learn a new concept, right? So that's 1 or 2 less concepts I gotta learn the next year, right? And finally that 3rd time I clept it, which means you just take a test. And I took the test and I passed it.
You don't get it. You have to give everything you got to get what you want. You have to give everything you don't even realize you have to get where you're trying to go. Don't you get it? When you do what they want, you will have what they don't. When you do what they refuse, they won't have the options that you get to choose. Because those are reserved for those who choose to move when others choose to stand still. Those are reserved for those that choose to get up when so many others couldn't find the strength to lift up and give more.
And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. You don't want it badder than you want to party. You don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Some of you can make sacrifices when Monday Night Football is not on. You can make a sacrifice. But when the game come on, for some reason, you just attached to it. You can make sacrifices on Sunday when ain't nothing going on. But when your favorite show comes on Monday, bam, some of you focus until the phone ring, and then you like, I gotta answer it. If I don't answer the phone, I'm gonna die. I'm saying to you today that there are some of you, if you give up your cell phone, you would be successful. But your cell phone is more important to you than your success. You have to give it everything you got. No more TV, no more parties, no more playing. If you don't have a 4.0, what you need to be doing is studying. Get off the phone. I'm sorry, I'm not available until the end of this year. No, I'm for real. You reached the right number, but you called me at the wrong time. Call me back January 1st. I'm about to get busy now. Every time you ever got in trouble, somebody in your house got you out of it. Every time you've done something you're not supposed to do, people say, Eric, your mother's a tyrant. You're right. She kicked me out. You're right. She's mean, but she developed a man because she put me out there and said, you're going to have to grow up. And some of you have never learned to grow up. And so every time something get hard, you quit, you call mama. I dare you to take a little pain. I dare you. I dare you not to go home. Somebody said, I gotta go home, I feel bad. Go through it. You ain't gonna die. At the end of pain is success. You're not gonna die because you're feeling a little pain.
So let this be the time that you lift yourself back up. You've did it over and over again. Why stop now? You're too close. Success is right around the corner. And even if it takes a little bit longer to get there, it's okay. It's coming.
I gotta commit my very being to this thing. I gotta breathe it, I gotta eat it, I gotta sleep it. And until you get there, you'll never be successful in life. But once you get there, I guarantee you, the world is yours.
You already know sometimes you gotta disappear for 3 months. Sometimes you gotta disappear for 6 months. Sometimes you gotta disappear for 9 months. Sometimes you gotta disappear for a whole year, 2 years, and then emerge. The new you, the new and improved you on an entirely different level. See, your dream is like a muscle. And sometimes you gotta let that muscle get broke down. The greats, they don't even start counting the reps until it hurts because they understand that pain is what's gonna lead to that future gain. So from this day forward, excuses are for the weak. So starting right now, not tomorrow, not next week, I need you to vow to keep going.
It's when you have nothing left. It's when you depleted all your money, when all your energy gone, when you have nothing left, that's when it's showtime. When you want this thing as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you find a way. There is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. No excuse.
How can I get the best of me so I can get the best out of me? It all starts with self-understanding. So when you understand yourself, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, you know what you're good at, you know your tendencies. That's when you can start conquering you.
I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press toward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power. Every single day, I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim.
It's you versus you. Master yourself. Self-mastery is everything. I heard a wise person say, controlling oneself is true strength. Do you have enough strength to knock out the negativity, to knock out the ignorance, to knock out the stinking thinking, to win the battle of you versus you? Don't think for 1 second that you emerge victorious one time, and that's it. This is a daily process. You have to knock out the ignorance. You have to knock out the toxic. You have to knock out the negativity each and every day of your life.
Winners win and losers lose. I can't explain it any better than that. I don't know how it happens, but winners win. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
When you say you're going to do something and you actually get it done, the sense of accomplishment, the self-pride, I need you to lock that feeling in, because that's what's going to drive you to do it again the next day and do it again the day after that and the day after that. and put yourself in a position to emerge victorious.
Low self-esteem, doubt, and fear. And if you can find your way on this side, guys, it's sweeter on this side.
And also, stop blaming yourself for what somebody else did to you. Forgive yourself for that too. It's not your fault. Self-mastery. The battle of you versus you. It's not an easy win. But I guarantee, I promise, you are more than capable of winning the battle.
We want people to make guarantees to us, but we're not willing to make guarantees to ourselves. No, bro, I'm gonna say it again. Like somebody gave you a guarantee, $30, 30-day guarantee. In 30 days, if you don't make what they told you was gonna make, in 30 days you got an attitude, you want your money back. But you've never demanded your money back from yourselves. You've never looked at yourself in the mirror and said, you let you down. Until you get to that point, you let you down. You're not brave enough. You want to put it on somebody else. The reason why I'm not successful is because of my boss. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm not getting up on time. I'm not going to work on time. I'm not putting in 120% when I'm at work. I let me down. And when you get to the point where you can say you let you down, I don't care. Listen to me, no disrespect. I don't care about Glenn. That's not why I do what I do. And I love Glenn. I don't come here and do what I do so Glenn can affirm me, so he can give me a pat on my back. I care more about me than I care about what Glenn thinks about me. I have standards. I have values. I don't care how much you pay me. If I speak at an elementary school for $300, I chose to do that for $300. If I chose to speak at a prison for free, I chose to do that. And I will not go in there giving those prisoners less than what somebody pays me $100,000. Why? Because I value myself enough to give 120% or don't do it.
And you, my friend, have all the power you need to dominate yourself. Because that's what it's gonna take for you to arrive at your desired destination of next level greatness. It's you versus you. So you say to yourself, what do I do when I say I'm gonna do this, but I wind up doing that, and I let myself down? That's when the self-punishments come into place. Sometimes you have to put your own foot in your own behind and shut yourself down. It's okay to be upset with you. It's okay to put yourself on a timeout. Because sometimes you have to tell yourself, I know I want to go to the party. I know I want to go hang out, but I can't go to the party. I can't go hang out because I said I was going to do this and I didn't get it done. So right now there's no fun until I get it done. So you can't do that until you do this.
You always want to blame other people. You want to hold other people to the fire, but you're not holding yourself to the fire. You just said you're giving 50%. You owe you an explanation. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts, no, we working out now. No more alcohol, not right now. No, I can't handle it right now. You need to tell you that you owe you something.
But you know my motto. I could have took the easy route. But there is no easy route. So embrace the difficult. Embrace the hard. And remember these steps, because they will help you win your daily battle of you versus you. Number 1, self-understanding. Number 2, self-conversations. Number 3, self-punishments. Number 4, self-forgiveness. Number 5, self-congratulations. And if you follow these steps, they will lead you directly to self-mastery. James E. Faust said, self-mastery is a challenge for every individual. Only we can control our appetites and passions. Self-mastery cannot be bought by money or fame. It is the ultimate test of our character. It requires climbing out of the deep valleys of our lives and scaling our own Mount Everest. Keep fighting, my friend, because this is a daily battle that you will incur for the rest of your life. But you can win the war within if you keep fighting. Never quit, never give up, never give in. So do yourself a huge favor. Master yourself and never ever settle for less. This is a great day to win.
For those, there's a lot of our viewers who would feel like they're kind of still in that tough circumstances and they're waiting for the luck to arrive and they're wondering, I've got dreams and the dreams aren't happening fast enough. Like, what advice would you offer them?
Don't be too hard on yourself and be patient. It's a kind of a mix that you have to go through, a bit of a dance. So on the one hand, you want to be serious about life. Life doesn't go on forever. Your youth will be over in 10, 12 years. You better believe it, it goes faster than you can imagine, right? You want to realize what your life's task is. You want to develop those skills that will make it so when you're in your 30s, things will come together as they fortunately did for me. It's a common story that 31, 32 is that year where things turn around for people, right? But on the other hand, you don't want to be so damn serious, so damn, linear in your thinking. You've got to head down this path to make this amount of money, etc. You're young. Have some fun, have some adventure, have some excitement. But at the same time, also have that sense of discipline, that sense of purpose. We normally associate intelligence with intellectuals, with our Noam Chomsky, with Albert Einstein. And he says, no, intelligence comes in all forms. Working with your hands is a form of intelligence. A carpenter has a high form of intelligence. People who are sports, who are athletic, who use their body, that's another form of intelligence. There's music, there's math, there's language. You have one of these frames of mind. By the way your brain is wired, you are inclined towards one of them. Figure that out. If you are somebody who's word-oriented and you end up going into a field that's about math or about numbers, you're in for a lot of pain in life. You have to look at the things that you love and the things that you hate. So what you don't like is very instructive to you, right? You're looking at things that are very powerful inside of you, that are emotional. They're not intellectual, they're feelings, they're emotions. They're visceral things that you connect to. Negative emotions are trying to teach you something. They're trying to teach you the opposite. Something else is going on. Frustration is a sign that you haven't given up. You know you can do something, but you haven't figured it out. So when you have those kind of feelings, look at them and there's something positive in that. It's never too late. It's better to start earlier on in life. I mean, I wrote a book, Mastery, that deals with that subject. The earlier you figure it out, the better off you are. But it can happen later in life. Now, I figured out at an early age that I wanted to write. I didn't know what I wanted to write, but I loved words and I loved writing. And if I didn't have that connection when I was 8 years old, all the way into high school and college, I would have been a lost soul. And I empathize with a lot of people who don't have that feeling when they're 8 or 18 or in their 20s. But I'm trying to tell people everybody has it. You're just not listening to yourself. You're on social media too much. You're listening to what other people are telling you. You're listening to what your parents told you should be doing in life. You're listening to what your friends think is cool. You're listening to what the culture is all about, the entertainment industry, etc. You got to cut all that bit out. You got to listen to yourself. And you got to be a bit bold. And you have to embrace what makes you different. I say what makes you weird because I know personally I'm a very weird person. I like it. I don't mind being weird. I use it to my advantage. I put it in my books. You have weirdness to you, whoever you are. Things that you might sometimes be a little bit ashamed or embarrassed or uncomfortable with, right? But you shouldn't be. What makes you different, what makes you particularly strange, if you want to use another word, is your strength, is your source of power. You've lost touch with it. Let's go back and try and find it. And that's the whole problem here. How do you find it? Well, it's a process. You have to be patient. It's not going to come like a light bulb in your head. I was meant to do this. I was meant to write the 48 Laws of Power. That's not how it works. It takes time. To do anything in life takes time and hours and patience and work. I recommend starting a journal and such and writing down some of the things that I think are important to you. So I like to tell people to go back to their earliest childhood memories of things that really excited them, before they got mixed up with parents and teachers and all that, other people telling them stuff, you know? Like for me, it was words and language. I just was entranced by the sound of language itself, right? It was like music to me. You had something like that. I know you do. And I am completely egalitarian. I believe everybody has that. When I wrote the book Mastery, which is what this book is about, to prove my point that everyone has it, I interviewed contemporary masters. And one of them is the woman Temple Grandin, who was born with high-level autism, right? She was going to be hospitalized for her entire life. When she was 2 or 3 years old, she had the good luck of finding the right teacher who brought her out of her shell. And she eventually became a very respected professor of animal research, right? She's absolutely brilliant, and she also studies autism itself. If somebody with that kind of disability, that kind of thing, you know, everything stacked against her, if she can figure it out and reach mastery, then I certainly believe everybody has that potential. But I know it doesn't come easy. It's a process, and you have to be patient, but you have to put in the work. Now, the circumstances now, it's easy for me, a boomer, I have to admit that, to preach to you when you have gone through you've gone through a pandemic, what looks like to be a recession, and then if you're a millennial, you went through the crash in 2008. It's easy for me to preach. You're dealing with really difficult circumstances. And there's what they call the Great Resignation now, is that it, right? So a lot of people are rethinking their lives. They don't want to work at crap jobs just to get by. And I applaud that 100%, right? That's great. So you want to think about working for yourself is the ultimate position in this world. And even though times are difficult, even though it may seem like just a dream, there's so much potential out there for entrepreneurial spirit, for creating your own startup, for creating your own podcast, for going your own path in life. You don't have to follow other people. It's not like it was when I was growing up. There were things that were better back then. There are things that were a lot worse, right? You have so many more options. It's just that you're not going to reach them. You're not going to be happy in this short time that you have to be alive unless you take it seriously, unless you learn skills and develop and go through an apprenticeship in your 20s, etc. So if you can balance those two and still have some fun and adventure and excitement, like I did. I mean, I don't want to hold myself to some model, but, you know, being an Irishman in Paris in my early 20s, you know, I was having adventures, right? So just don't listen to your parents go, I got to be making $100,000 when I'm 23 and go to law school and do all this stuff. You're going to burn out. So kind of understand I guess the main thing I would say is know who you are, know what you're, you know, deep down your core, what you love, what you hate, and what you were destined to create in this world. That's like the most important process you can go through.
Your brain is like a supercomputer, and your self-talk is a program it will run. So if you tell yourself you're not good at remembering names, you will not remember the name of the next person you meet because you program your supercomputer not to. And I always tell people that your self-talk is important, and it is the program that we will run. And I always tell people to keep it positive, keep it empowering, because your mind is always eavesdropping on your self-talk, right? And you have to be careful what you say to yourself because it's this unconscious command. So I would be very careful, like when I get nervous or I feel like I think some of the most successful people live at the edge of their limits, you know, and they play there also as well. And so whenever I feel in my nervous system, I feel like I can't do it, then I feel like I really must do it, because I feel like how we do anything is how we do everything. Knowledge is power, then learning is your superpower. I had the brain injury when I was 5 years old, and I suffered all through elementary school, all through middle school, all through high school, and so it was like a good 14 years. And a lot of it was, you know, this thing where it's, even as a young age, maybe I was pretending that everything was fine and I'd be struggling. It's kind of like that metaphor of a duck on a pond, and you see it's like all calm and relaxed, but underneath it's just like hustling really, really fast. And people don't always see what's below the iceberg. But for me, I struggled privately. And my parents, because I grew up with these challenges, and I didn't have a lot of people to talk to, because when you feel like you're broken, you don't connect with a lot of people. So on top of everything, I was also painfully shy. I was introverted, but I was also shy and very reserved. And I would always sit in the corner. And I honestly, I've never talked about this publicly, but I ask everybody, what their superpower is. And I feel like that my superpower growing up as an insecure kid who felt like he was broken and taught that by adults, that my superpower was being invisible.
Whoa.
Like I didn't want to be seen. I mean, I ultimately did want to be seen and I want to be heard like most of us and accepted and acknowledged, but I didn't want the spotlight. Like I would do, for example, my parents instilled like this work ethic about working hard. And so I would do a book report, and even though it was more difficult for me, and to the point where I'd be like, okay, I have it, I was done. But if a teacher asked me in high school to present it in front of a class, I would actually lie and say I didn't do it. Wow. And I would take a 0, and because I was so terrified of being in front of a group of people, and I would throw it out on the way out of class. I think as they say, what you practice in private, they say you're rewarded for in public, but you have to do the work. And I think that's where I got my work ethic. The challenges is growing up with a brain injury and labeled the boy with a broken brain. I had to work so much harder as everybody else, and you wonder why you're not getting those results. So I think having a powerful mindset, being unstoppable, or just having the ability to go and succeed, whatever success is for you, you have to be growing, because if you're not growing, then you're backsliding, right? But you also need a level of grit, and I think grit, just like growth, is a muscle. It's something that you need to sharpen through challenge, because through the challenge you get all the change that comes from it. I would say that if I'm effective having an impact on stage, and we all have a stage of our life, whether it's on a physical stage or just going through our day, right. That I challenge my grit and my ability to persist. Because motive matters, right? And what drives us. I always tell people that there's a success formula. I subscribe to it. I call it H cubed, that it goes from your head to your heart to your hands. Especially in the personal development space, or what they teach about goal setting. You could affirm things in your head, or think things in your head, or visualize things in your head. But if you're not acting with your hands, there's something that's missing, right? There's an incongruency there. And what I tell people is check in with the second H, which is your heart, which is the symbol of emotion, the energy of motion. And so I feel like that's the fuel that fuels the car, that gets you to take action for something. And I do believe what got me through it is figuring out what my why was, right? I don't want people to suffer the way I did. If I could do anything about it, for me, it's like no brain left behind, right? Because I lived with that identity for so long. And my message to people, whether it's on stage or on the podcast or anything, is that we are more than what we're demonstrating, that we've been sold this lie, that people are taught through school. Like when I do these demos and I on stage memorize 100 names and words and numbers forwards and backwards, and it appears effortlessly, I always tell people, I don't do this to impress you, I do this to express to you what's really possible, because the truth is everyone can do this too, and so much more. Apply towards creativity and focus and flow and problem solving and thinking and really overcoming the biggest challenges of their life, and maybe even the world. The challenge is we were taught a lie. We were taught a lie that somehow our intelligence, our potential, our learning, our memory somehow is fixed, or creativity is fixed, or thinking is fixed, like our shoe size. And what we've discovered, as you know, more about brain science, in the past 2 decades, we've discovered more than the previous 2,000 years. And what we know is that we're grossly underestimating our own capacity to be able to grow, to be able to contribute, to improve our intelligence and our influence and our impact. And I want to kind of pull the veil behind and just say, hey, this is about transcending. This is about ending the trance that we're not good enough, that we're not smart enough, that we're not this genius, and telling the truth. And the truth is, we're faster and we're smarter than we think. And not just to be able to memorize things, but be able to really solve significant challenges. And maybe that these challenges that we're going through are the lessons that we need to learn the most. And then some people who learn those lessons feel compelled to be able to share that voice with other people. So it's not just one candle, we just can set things ablaze. My platform is education. And I feel like that growing up, if anyone who's watching this feels like they're overloaded, overwhelmed, and they can't keep up, I always tell people that I don't think it's completely their fault. It's just we all grew up with a 20th century education that prepared us for a 20th century world, which at the turn of the century was working in factories and farms and assembly line. And our education system was mirrored to that. It was assembly line, one size fits all, cookie cutter approach towards education, teaching us things about what to learn, math, history, science, Spanish, but all things we could find online nowadays, right? So what do you need to be able to regurgitate that information for? But it was about what to learn, but not how to learn. And how to think for yourself, how to solve problems, how to be creative, all the things that you can't outsource to, like automated or technology, or you can't outsource to Asia. Our value in this world is really our creativity, right? Because that's not something that's easily outsourced. Our ability to create value, be creators, take our vision and turn them into reality, take the invisible and make it visible. But where are the classes on that, right? On how to be able to live your best version of yourself. But I love this because right now classrooms, they don't have four walls. I mean, how many people are watching this from how many different countries right now? And you never know who's listening on the other side. And that motivates, inspires the heck out of me. Because what if someone right now is watching this on their smart device and they're in the middle of some like a third world country and they become the next Malala or Elon Musk or what have you. Right. And that's what really juices me. And so education, I feel like a lot of people feel like that when they graduate school, their learning is done. In fact, the two big dips in cognitive performance is usually when people graduate school, and the second one is when they retire. Like when I'm thinking about when I want to transform or transcend or make a real positive change, I'm looking at all the other areas of ourself. So I'm looking at, for example, our environment. Are people setting up their environment to win? So change doesn't just happen at this level of behavior, but what you have to change the environment. So for example, if you want to stop eating a certain food, it helps to be able to have not have that food in your home, right? So you change the environment. If you want to read more, it helps to help set up your environment where you have the books readily available, where you're going to read it because they perform. How I approach habit change is this area of motivation and this trigger, right? You want to trigger it to help remind you to do the behavior, right? So are you setting up the environment in a way that triggers the behavior that you want? But not only the environment is like the when and the where, but it's also the behavior is also the capabilities, because a lot of people want to change a behavior, but they're not training in the abilities. It's exercise when we talk about self-awareness being a superpower, really knowing who we think we are, because if we don't believe that we're a public speaker or we're a great parent or we're a great learner or a genius, then we'll never be able to reach our full potential, because that will always be the ceiling that we bump up against. There's certain times of the day it's better to work out. There's better times of the day to be able to make love. There's better times of the day to be able to read, to check email, to ask for a raise. So I would think about like if geniuses find their element, their sweet spot, and they set up their routines and their rituals throughout the day to be able to align with their time when they're most productive, right? If they're not have a lot of energy in the morning, working out is probably not as good as doing it some other time. So the when and the where, and setting up your environment for success, because all your triggers are there that allow them. So I think geniuses set themselves up. So for example, they have their laptop, but they only use their laptop for work, and it's anchored, that's part of their environment, it's anchored to get them into flow states to be able to write or be productive. They don't use their laptop to binge on Netflix, right? They have an iPad that they use when they do that, because that's the state that they want to anchor for that, and they don't use that iPad to do work. And so my thing when it comes to success rituals and high performance and making an impact is that we all have that sovereignty, we all have that power, and whenever we put it out there and give it out to somebody else, like we're a thermometer, right? The metaphor I always talk about, it's like we're either thermometers or we're thermostats. And a thermometer, you think about the functionality of it, it just reflects what the environment is giving it, right? It just reflects the temperature and stuff. But a thermostat is different. It sets a standard, it sets a goal, it sets a vision, and the environment changes along with it. And I feel like our happiness, our joy, our level of fulfillment, our success is all dependent on where we put the locus of control. And I feel like we have more power than we realize in these cases. And it's hard because we have to fight media, we have to fight marketing that's always telling us about all the things that are going on in the world. But we live in an abundant universe, right? I mean, we talk about the matrix, which pill people are gonna take. And that determines everything. And every single morning, you determine what color pill you're gonna take. I watch and I listen to your show and maybe a handful of things I read each day, because I need to keep it positive. I want hope and I'm looking for help. I'm looking for inspiration and also instruction.
Is today the day where you make excuses? Or is today the day you make a decision? Is today the day you get distracted? Or is today the day you get laser focused and do great work? Is today the day you get stressed, doubt yourself, you feel anxiety, frustration, anger? Or is today the day you dominate your day by taking control? The easiest choice to make is to go down the road most traveled. The challenging choice to make is to tread a new path. The question is, are you ready to go down the path to your greatness? Every day, there is always an opportunity to build, to create, to advance, to make progress. And you're either moving forwards or you're going backwards. If you want to make breakthroughs and move through the resistance that you're probably always going to have, but moving through it in a way that you make progress, you become more. It's now time for you to listen to your future self. A great life, it doesn't happen by chance. It happens by design. So every day where you feel that resistance and you have the thoughts of, I could do it later, recognize that within that moment, you have the ability to use the power to take action. The challenge is to just get started. Not now, but right now. So today, look at all the things that you could do and ask yourself, do you want to win? You see, to win is to know what's important now. Say it with me, bring it on. Bring on the resistance, bring on the challenge, and allow yourself to have the feeling of elation when you've got started and you've done something that you said that you were going to do. And the more you do this, the better you will feel, the more adept and the stronger you will become at moving through the resistance that we all face. What's the greatest thing that you will ever do? Just get started. You see, how you do anything is how you do everything. And the fact is, it all comes down to one thing. That one thing is choice. And what's the easiest choice to make? Well, the easiest choice to make is to choose what you've chosen before. And if you always do what you've always done, then you'll always get what you've always got. Ultimately, your attention is your superpower. Your attention to focus on now what needs to be done. And this is the difference between success and failure. If life was a garden, then what sort of state is the garden of your life in? Because the natural state of the garden is decay. And if you don't look after the garden, then you know what happens, right? It gets out of control. You have weeds, and then there can be a lot of work to do. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now, but I would say it's not now, it's right now. It's really all about just playing the game of life and making progress. And maybe now it's time to wake up and realize the ultimate choice. The choice of who are you listening to? And I don't mean my voice, I mean the voices in your head. And I actually said the voices, because maybe there's more than one. When you woke up this morning, these voices started. Did you hear that voice that said, stay here, it's lovely, it's warm, it's comfortable? Or did you hear that other voice that said, hey, come on, let's get up, let's go? Which one are you listening to? It's the same challenge for most of us. It's who we're listening to. And I'd like to introduce you to someone. It's the voice of your future self. And you could think of me like a lawyer who's come from your future self to say, hey, your future self is talking to you. It's just maybe you haven't really been paying attention. Most people today are actually living a future they don't want. It's called a default future. And what's the hardest thing to do to create a new future? It's to build a compelling relationship to your future self and just get started. But I know sometimes with the things we've got to do, they might seem really big. So just doing it might seem like, well, there's just too much to do. But the real key is to just get started. Because our brain will always favor what is easier. Our brains tend to focus on taking the easy path. Anything that grows comes up against resistance. So the resistance that we have to start work, the resistance that we have to start engaging in activities that will create the futures that we want, always require us to move through resistance. And right now, I'd like you to imagine that you go on a journey and in the distance, in the horizon, you see someone and you think, that person looks familiar to me. And as you walk closer to that person, you realize, hang on a second, that's me. It is you, but it's you in the future. And as you get closer to your future self, imagine that future self opens his arms up and gives you a really big hug. And you realize the possibilities that exist for you to become your future self. Is today the day where you get distracted, or is this the day you just get started?